Hi there, David here. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys some challenges that you may experience if you are planning on following the cabbage juice protocol to heal from ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. So let's go to the intro and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Alright, welcome back. As I mentioned a moment ago, today I'm going to be going over 3 challenges or 3 points that you want to consider if you are planning on going through the cabbage juice protocol with the expectation of healing your ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, or just strengthening your immune system. Real quick, jump into the first one. The first challenge or the first thing you want to have in mind is you need to have the right mindset. And I'm not crazy. I'll explain why. For about 2 years, give or take, I started right before 2021. So let's say from 2019 to 2021, I started getting food sensitivities, especially to gluten, anything grains, wheat, corn, peanuts, obviously, even cheese that I never had allergies to. It started getting really bad, but especially I would say for 2 or 3 months before October of 2021, it got to a point where I would have allergies or itchiness, and they would last for weeks. Maybe I think I remember one that lasted for over a month, and I could see the marks in my legs, under my armpits. So I was really kind of desperate at one point, to be honest, and that's why I went to my doctor to get an endoscopy done. I was 100% sure I had gluten intolerance, and you can see this video here that I posted last week about the results of that test specifically. But coming back to the mindset, at the beginning, like 2 years prior, I came across this video. This lady that I mentioned on the how I heal from ulcerative colitis in 1 week. I watched that video on YouTube, right? Like, oh, cabbage juice, wow, great, heals from ulcerative colitis. And for some reason, I didn't make the connection at that point that I could heal myself. But come the allergies, come the food sensitivities, October of 2021. I felt like at that point I hit the bottom, My mindset changed, I feel like I would do anything, protocol-wise, treatments, not surgery, not the traditional medicine, but alternative, medicine. I would do anything. So at that point my mindset did change. I feel like I can do this. And I'll do it because I want to get rid of all this nonsense. So that to me was my rock bottom. So at that point, again, my mindset was ready. So it was only a week after I went for the endoscopy. I didn't have the results back. And just 1 week later, beginning of November, I started and I did the cabbage juice protocol, which for those that have been following, that healed my ulcerative colitis, food sensitivities went away, healed 100%. So I don't know what is your rock bottom, what needs for you to happen to decide that it's for you. So that's always something you have to decide and spend some time with yourself. Second challenge or second point, when you're planning on going through the cabbage juice protocol, there's 2 main things you want to have in mind when you go and buy or shop for the cabbage. First, it has to be organic, okay? And second, it has to be ripe. Both of these things combine to the perfect flavor, so it's not something awful, right? People, you don't think of cabbage juice as being, orange juice, apple juice, kind of sweetness to them that makes it very drinkable. You don't have to think about it, just grab it and drink it. Cabbage juice is not like that, You have to have certain patience and tolerance even. When you buy organic juice and it's ripe, it has a bit of green, but light green and slightly yellowish on the leaves, which you can see this cabbage here. You can see it. That means it's ready to juice and it'll have the best possible flavor. Okay, so look for a slightly green with tones of yellow for you to know, okay, this is the perfect time to buy this cabbage. And why it has to be organic? I tasted both organic and non-organic. Let me tell you, there's no comparison. Organic, you do get that flavor with the touch of sweetness at the end. The non-organic, it just tastes sour, bitter, regardless if it's ripe. It would keep that bitterness regardless of if it's ripe or it's not ripe or if it's dry. So that's another reason why you want to buy organic. And other reasons why you want to buy organic, even though it's a bit more expensive, it's because you'll make sure that there's no pesticides involved, that there was no fertilizer involved, and also that there's no GMO involved, genetically modified organisms. Okay? As soon as you start messing around with adding these things that are external to the cabbage juice, to the normal growing of the plant, you're asking for trouble. Okay? No matter how well you wash the cabbage juice, either before at the store they may wash it or you wash it at home, there's always the chance there might be a trace of pesticide if there was pesticides being used. So you want to stay away from that. Fertilizer, same thing. Fertilizer make the plant grow faster, bigger, but not necessarily better for your health. Okay, so that's why you want to stay away from pesticides, fertilizer, if it was growing in a non-organic way. And lastly, the GMO, the genetically modified organism. Even though there might be small chance of the cabbage juice to be in GMO, it's mostly other plants that might use GMO. But if that was the case, there's the small chance that the GMO, the genetically modified code, gets embedded into your gut, into your stomach that you're trying to heal to begin with. That's in a nutshell why you want to use organic juice, and obviously make sure it's ripe and with a good taste. And last but not least, obviously, this is the more trivial, the more day-to-day kind of things that people might be thinking of, which is the logistics. How do you get the cabbage juice? Where to get it, what amounts, do I store it, what have you. So if you think you can get the cabbage juice on a regular basis, meaning without having to go and give 2 or 3 trips and so forth to the store, you might be able to do 3 heads of cabbage, say to cover the first half of the week, and then the other 3 or 2 or 3, depending on the size, midweek you go and pick it up. My calculation is that you can get the full course, the full week, with about 5 heads of cabbage. Now, my preference, and I think there's still the best way to prepare the cabbage, is to do fresh squeeze it and drink it immediately. Okay, so I had 16 ounces in the morning, 16 ounces at night. That covers the 32 ounces that is required on the protocol daily. You could do it 4 times a day, right? I'm not going to go super detailed. You can watch my video on the actual protocol preparation. But if you prefer, not my recommendation, but some people say it works and the properties are not really lost, but it's not my preferred method. You could buy the 5 full cabbages on one day, squeeze them, juice the 5 cabbages, heads of cabbage, and then store them, okay, in the fridge, obviously. You would have to buy some mason jars and put in a plastic Ziploc, so the juice does not touch the glass directly, because then it oxidates. So that's another way, if you prefer and you don't have the patience or the time to, do the fresh squeezing and drinking it. That's another option again. So that's the 3 challenges, the 3 topics that you may come across that you want to be aware of when planning and following the protocol. So hopefully you find this useful. I'll see you guys in the next video. A lot of interesting videos coming up.